What was your reaction to the retirement announcement and the post?
You know what? I wasn't surprised, and I wasn't surprised by him retiring. I will say that. But I was a little bit surprised that he did not mention the fans of New England. Okay, I know he has issues with maybe Robert Kraft and with Bill Belichick, but I thought at least the fans would get some acknowledgement. I'm not that worked up, but at the end of the day, if you're not going to acknowledge the fans, I think the fans of New England that are upset should really put their attention towards the Patriots and for not keeping him like he wanted to, because he wanted to stay here. They didn't allow him to stay here. And so I think really the anger shouldn't be towards Tom. It should be more towards the Patriot front office.
Yeah, Kern had it right. The fans are probably shrapnel. They're collateral damage where Brady really wanted to send the message to the Patriots organization. Speaking of which, what did you hear today about how the Patriots organization and Robert Kraft specifically reacted to that post?
Yeah, I mean, people have been speculating about it all day. How does Robert Kraft feel? A lot of people think probably he's not feeling too good about what happened today, just being left out of the Instagram post. And I was told earlier tonight, you guys, that Robert Kraft, it was an unpleasant day today at the executive offices in Foxboro, and that Robert Kraft initially, when he first heard the news, was very upset, and he was screaming and he was yelling, and then there was a temper tantrum that he threw after he read this IG post. So he was not happy about it in Foxboro, and I'm not surprised, but to hear about the outward emotion that he showed regarding this post was a little bit surprising.
Well, and let me tell you why, and I don't know if you agree, but I think of all the figures that we talk about, Robert Kraft is the neediest. He is the neediest in terms of getting his share of the credit, that sort of thing. So I think Bill could look at that Instagram post, see he's not mentioned, and go, F him, and get on with his day. Robert needs the affirmation because that's just how he's wired. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I've known Robert for a very long time. Like, I haven't talked to him in recent years, but just my time playing with him, Mike, you guys, he's very much cares about PR. He very much cares about how he is perceived. He very much cares about people. That he cares about how they feel about him. And so the deepest cut of all for him is to not be mentioned in that Instagram post when Tom Brady retired. I know that hurt him deeply.
I mean, think about it, Mike. He's been calling him a son. This is my fifth son. He's been calling him a family member for 20 years, and now Tom Brady says goodbye to the sport and doesn't even mention his dad. That's how he
right. Absolutely. And you think about it, he likes to play each side of it, each side of the argument.
That'd be an archaic.
He will not, Kraft. He doesn't want to be like, I won't take this side. Even with Drew Bledsoe, he'll say now, it was unfair on a human basis that Drew Bledsoe lost his job to Tom Brady. I love Drew. I love Tom. I love Bill. I hired Bill. Nobody wanted me to hire him. Like all these people, he wants to be close to them. This really hit him. But tell me, guys, isn't it crazy? I know how Michael Felger feels about it. I want to know how you feel about it. Isn't it crazy that we're responding to Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
But that's how guys communicate now. I mean, it is what it is.
Stay off the internet.
At the end of the day, but Robert Kraft, if clearly he was upset about what happened today, he's got really no one to blame but himself. I mean, Tom Curran in the earlier segment said it. I mean, if you listen to Tom Brady before the 2019 season, go into the training camp, when Tom Brady was asked about his contract, he's like, hey, go ask Mr. Kraft. He basically, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick did not want him here. He wanted to move on from Tom and show that he can win without Tom. But it was Robert Kraft that could have intervened.
But
Tom Brady knows that and didn't.
Do you want that? Do you want that? Like, over the years, I don't want Kraft. Now, look, Bill has to take responsibility for it because it's his decision. You've given Bill Belichick autonomy for 20 years, and then at the last minute,
he stepped in on Garoppolo. He stepped in on a lot of players.
So you want him? He
stepped in on me. I can speak from experience. He stepped in on me personally too. Bill wanted me out back in the early 2000s. Mr. Kraft said, no, that's not going to happen. And I played 2 more years here because of Robert Kraft's input and influence.
So you think he should have done it here? Jump in and say, no, you're not going to move on from Tom Brady, even though.
He should have, and Bill should have listened to him. You know why? Because Tom went and won a Super Bowl without Bill. And so that's always going to be on Bill Belichick's resume, is that Tom Brady did it without Bill Belichick. If he never left here, that would never be on his resume.
Okay, Ted, back to your report that he was very upset. You could hear yelling and screaming at the office, temper tantrum, if you will. He also released a statement, though, a really, I thought, heartfelt, nice, genuine statement praising Tom Brady. Do we know whether the tantrum came before or after they released that statement?
Couldn't tell you. Don't know the timeline on that exactly. But I'll be honest, even if it was after the tantrum, That wouldn't surprise me, Michael, because, I mean, at the end of the day, Robert Kraft's going to do what he thinks is what's the best look for him to do.
And let me tell you, I think the Patriots look better today. Or Kraft does anyway.
Right.
Kraft sent out a very heartfelt thing, a nicely worded statement, and Tom Brady sort of took the low road. So I think Robert sort of won that, if you will, today. Nothing from Bill Belichick today. Do you think that's a coincidence, or just your thought on that quick?
No, that doesn't surprise me. You know, that's Bill. That's Bill. You want to talk about petty people. I mean, we're talking about Tom Brady being petty. He learned that maybe from Bill Belichick. There's nobody more petty than Bill Belichick, so I'm not surprised.
And the other thing is, to answer your question, I think that Kraft statement was written before Brady's announcement because, once again, Saturday gave everybody a preview. Yeah. This is going to happen. So they were on it. They knew whenever it happens, we'll have this ready. Let's prepare a statement. How do we feel about Tom Brady? It could come out tomorrow, could come out Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's be ready to go.
They
put it out
before they read the whole post, and then they got through the whole bunch. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. You didn't even mention, pull that back.